He grabbed her by the throat underwater, and she didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't even blink. For 48 long seconds, she let him squeeze. Everyone else would have panicked. She waited. That was her edge. Not strength, not speed. Control. Lieutenant Commander Eliza Kerr wasn't just a SEAL. She was the kind who survived things you didn't talk about in daylight. Back in Virginia Beach, in the rehab wing near the Naval Training Facility, she was the ghost in the pool, wounded but not gone. Today wasn't about fitness. It was about psychology. And Corporal Trent Hollis had no idea what he'd just awakened. The rehab center was quiet that morning. Chlorine hung in the air, sterile and sharp. Recruits ran drills, resistance bands, water weights, breath control. Eliza walked among them like she belonged to the silence. Clipboard in hand, compression sleeves rolled up, armband marking her as limited exertion. Everyone knew it was a lie. Her eyes said she was still in charge. Corporal Hollis swaggered in late, loud cracking jokes about her lungs, mocking the injury that had collapsed one. He thought she was done, washed up, but she just logged his movements. Tight grip, poor form, flared ego. She was measuring him, quietly, completely. Hollis didn't see the warning signs. He thought he was teasing her, calling her inhaler girl, brushing against her during drills, flexing for recruits. Eliza said nothing. She just adjusted her grip, logged his errors, kept her breath calm. During partner drills at the pool, she paired with him. No hesitation. Her posture was precise. His? Swagger masked sloppiness. He mocked her pace, splashed water near her boots. Then came the shove. Eliza didn't react. Just a subtle shift, a recalibration. When he wrapped an arm around her throat under the guise of instruction, she didn't flinch. She simply waited and recalculated. Later that evening, the mess hall buzzed with idle chatter and clanking trays. Hollis, loud as always, raised his voice over dinner. "If she can outbreathe me tomorrow, I'll salute her. If she blacks out, she's off this base." Some laughed, nervously. At the back table, Eliza read through personnel files, slowly, methodically, pausing just long enough to underline his name. Petty Officer Deacon Reed approached. He'd seen the pool roster. Hollis's name wasn't on it earlier. Now it was. "You sure about this?" he asked. Eliza didn't blink. "He signed the waiver. I didn't bait him. I opened the door." He walked in. The pool was prepped before damn sunrise. Blue LED strips pulsed under the surface. Quiet. Controlled. Eliza entered first. Black wetsuit, stopwatch hanging from her hand. Every motion deliberate. Hollis arrived last. Half-zipped suit. Grin wide. He cracked jokes. Flexed for the monitors. She didn't respond. No weights, no assist. Just breath and discipline. They submerged together. Underwater, she went still, heart rate dropping, lungs held like a sealed vault. Hollis kicked, fidgeted, watched her. At second 36, he lunged, his hand locked around her throat from behind. It wasn't a drill anymore. But she didn't fight back. She didn't need to. Hollis tightened his grip, expected panic, struggle. Nothing came. Eliza stayed perfectly still, eyes open, breath locked. Her pulse dropped. His spiked. At second 44, confusion set in. Why wasn't she reacting? At 48, she moved. One hand snapped to his wrist, foot planted. She twisted, clean and surgical. His wrist popped, dislocated. He surfaced, gasping, sputtering. She rose seconds later, quiet, unshaken. Reed behind the glass gave a silent nod. No one clapped, no one cheered. But everyone knew. Eliza hadn't fought back. She'd waited. And now the man who mocked her control sat soaked, broken, and breathless. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share the video. Later in the command room, the footage played. Two figures underwater, a grip, a twist, a break. No words, just evidence. Captain Harlan stared at the monitor, then at Hollis. "Is that you initiating contact?" Hollis deflected, blaming her calm for provoking him. Harlan pressed. "You think stillness is provocation?" Hollis faltered. Across the room, Eliza sat straight, unreadable. Petty Officer Reed confirmed it all: vitals, timestamps, protocol violations. "She didn't panic," Reed said. "He did." Harlan turned to Eliza. "Why didn't you surface?" Her answer came like a sealed order. "Because I didn't need to." Hollis never lifted his eyes again. The pool deck was silent. Hollis slumped near the wall, wrist braced, eyes wide with disbelief. One assistant checked his pulse, the other logged vitals. "She broke it," Hollis muttered. Eliza stood nearby, calm, hair still damp. "He initiated a choke during a no-contact drill," she said plainly. "I responded with controlled joint manipulation." Reed stepped in, medkit in hand. "Vitals logged everything. She never panicked." Hollis tried to argue. Eliza didn't raise her voice. "You thought it was a game. I treated it like a test." Her breath never wavered. Her voice, like her training, never cracked. Not once. Command reviewed the footage again. Captain Harland stood at the head of the table, silver hair sharp under fluorescent lights. On screen, Eliza, still, Hollis, lunging. Silence followed the playback. "You could have pressed charges," Harland said. Eliza replied, "Didn't need to." Reed added, "Her vitals stayed stable, his spiked." Hollis tried to defend himself, claimed provocation. Harland shook his head. "Remaining calm isn't provocation." The verdict was swift. Hollis was removed from the candidate program. Reassigned to admin, Eliza stood to leave. "It's not your throat you lost the fight with," she told him quietly. "It's your timing." And then she walked out. The gym buzzed as usual the next morning. Weights clanked, voices murmured, boots hit rubber matting. But the air had changed, subtle, sharper. When Eliza entered, no one stared, but everyone stood straighter. Recruits adjusted their grips, footing realigned. She said nothing. Didn't need to. Clipboard in hand, stopwatch by her side, she moved through the room like a tuning fork, silent but resonant. By the treadmills, two whispered, "That's her, the one who didn't flinch." Reed passed, report tucked under one arm. "Calm's your superpower, huh?" She glanced at him. "Not calm," she said softly. "Calculation." And the gym breathed with her.